Mr. Big.
Jump into the fire, keep out of the line, kick it. That's what we're living for. Riding side by side, keep your love alive, kick it.
Billy Sheehan called me up on the phone, and I thought, this could be something. Actually, the very first phone call that sort of hinted at the band, he just wanted to get together and play some songs. He said, yeah, you want to get together and, just play some copy tunes sometime? And I thought, wow, play copy tunes with Billy Sheehan, that'd be so much fun, And then the next day he called me and said, well, what I really meant to say was, do you want to form a band? Well, I was real proud of being able to write Green Tinted 60s Mind, just because I had never really successfully written vocal melodies and lyrics before. And it was funny because the basic chord progression to the beginning, I'd been screwing around with for a long time. I remember sound checks eons ago. I'd wanted to write something around that progression. But after I had finished the whole song, I heard where I stole it from. I mean, it's not direct. I mean, this song has a completely different feel to it, different time, different accents. I don't think anyone but me would notice. So I went through and tried to come up with something completely different that would be that same change. And so I started screwing around with an arpeggio two-handed thing, the big long. Instead of. In fact, could you play that real quick? And after I was done, I thought, wow, that's even better. I got to do this more often. Whenever I write something, I have to pretend that I stole it from someone so I can come up with something that cool. There's a ballad called Just Take My Heart, which was on keyboards originally, and I wanted to learn it on guitar. It wasn't working, so I ended up coming with a weird tuning, where I tuned up to an F, and it works. And I got the keyboard part that way.
Do you feel like that the 60s were better?
Well, it's funny because the majority of music that I listen to is older music. I don't know whether it's because it's better or because it's a nostalgia thing for me, because it's the music I grew up listening to. But I mean, there's certainly contemporary stuff that I like, but very little of it is rock. I like a lot of the new dance type music, like Janet Jackson, Swing Out Sister, Prince. I really like Wendy and Lisa. You know, they have a couple songs that I think are really cool. You know, but I found a lot of the things that I like are reminiscent of things in the 60s and 70s. I love the song "Sowing the Seeds of Love" by Tears for Fears, which was very reminiscent of "I Am the Walrus" or "Strawberry Fields" kind of thing. I love the band Enough's Enough, which really borrows heavily from a lot of Beatles type chord progressions. And you know, so I don't know if it's, I mean, but again, it's a subjective thing. I mean, what's better? It's just what I like. Eric had a demo of that song that he had written 4 years ago, and he had played it for me when we were recording the first album, and I just wanted to hear it because I really liked the song, and I called him. I said, "Eric, can you send me a tape of that tune? You know, that kind of Beatle-y kind of thing, you know?" And he said, "Sure. You know, what for?" I said, "I just want to hear it. You know, it's so cool. I just want to be able, you know, stick it on one of my tapes, play in my car." And he sent it down, and I listened to it more. And I thought, "This is so cool. You know, I wonder if I could con the band into doing this." So. On our rehearsal tapes, I stuck it on the end of all the tapes, and Pat, my drummer, calls me up an hour later and goes, "Paul, what's the song at the end of the tape? It's really cool. What is it?" You know, and so finally we ended up all really liking it and doing it.
We can be together, baby. You can make my life worthwhile. I can make you start to smile.
I wanted something to be really frightening. I wanted to sort of do a Racer X style solo. I wanted to have a section of all 16th notes, just.
Right.
But it starts off on an upbeat. It's like 1, 2, 3,
Right. Yeah.
and it's hard to go.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out a way of doing that. Initially, I wanted to change the song. I was like, can't we just go 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of, you know, how do you get into it from there? But I came up with like 1, 2, 3. I was more, believe it or not, more concerned rhythmically. I wanted something that went.
Whatsoever it might be.
Who can, at that speed, who can tell the notes anyway? Yngwie and Gary Moore were both really inspiring for the picking stuff. I mean, I just never heard it before. I worked a lot on the Van Halen stuff, so I was real familiar with, you know, that kind of things. But you know, when I first heard people doing fast picking stuff, I just couldn't believe it. And I didn't know you could do that. I remember practicing without an amp and picking really hard. And I thought, wow, that's pretty cool, you know, and I'd almost have to do it just to hear myself with, you know, with an unamplified guitar. And through an amp, it would sound terrible. So I had to just figure out how to lighten up to get a better tone, you know. So I worked real hard on it for a long time. I ended up completely changing the way I held the pick, which
how so?
which sort of gives me faith in humanity in a way, because I figure if I could change that after playing for 7 years. So I used to hold it like this.
Three fingers.
Yeah, with these two fingers and this one, I used to bend it back like.
So you actually struck the string at an angle.
You can sort of do it, and I ended up switching to using, instead of the flat part of my finger, the side of my finger, and held the pick more of a forward angle.
And what caused you to switch?
Seeing players who I really admired being able to play seemingly effortlessly. And I saw some Yngwie videos where it just took him no effort at all to do this amazing stuff, and I was sitting there going, ah.